Hey guys, what's going on? This is Will from TheWillOfGaming and also my daily vlogs, which you can find me at William Sosa. I'm going to be doing a vlog every day this year, so yes. So, I'd like to thank everybody who watched my video yesterday that I posted of my highly most anticipated games of 2015. I put 27. I had a lot more. I just didn't have the time, so I only thought of 27 and I had to work on a video immediately. So there we go. Now we're working on, this video is going to be my favorites, my top 10 favorites, and my top 10 disappointments of 2014. Now, this is just my personal opinion, okay? So it shouldn't affect your opinion. It's not like I'm saying it's the worst game in the world or anything. If your game does make it on a disappointment list, it just means that it didn't meet my expectations. It could have met your expectations to the you know what I mean. So anyways, without further ado, let's get started on this list right now. Huh? Coming in at number 10 of my most disappointed game list is Titanfall. Titanfall was fantastic when it first came out. I mean, I had so much fun. I remember I got invited to the beta, me and my friend. We were playing some Titanfall. And then I just don't know what happened. It was fantastic. Angel Haven was fun and I loved that map. But when the full game came out and then they showed like the other 14 maps, I just didn't have fun anymore. Like it wasn't fun. Like, I'm just like, I don't know what happened. I mean, I had fun with my friends for a while because we all played together. And then I just lost interest. You know, the maps got really boring. Then there was no single player. So therefore, I didn't care anymore. And now I don't have Xbox Live anymore. So therefore, that's another thing that I lost interest in Titanfall. Titanfall was a really big game, but it was really short-lived. It just did not meet any expectations. I didn't really have any expectations. It did exactly what it did, but it was short-lived, and therefore it got replaced by other games. Coming in at number 10 of my favorite list is Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. Now, this is a Lord of the Rings. It's in the Lord of the Rings lore. And this game was actually a surprise. I wasn't going to get this game. I got this game because of the reviews I saw for it, and it was really good. And the combat actually looked really good. I actually forgot that this game even existed. It was literally a sleeper hit for me. Then I finally got it, and it introduced something called the Nemesis system, which I didn't think I was going to get. But then the Nemesis system ended up being really, really cool, and it was an interesting gameplay mechanic, and that felt very next gen to me. It was a fantastic experience. I love the mixture of Batman Arkham combat, close combat with Assassin's Creed stealth and climbing and stuff. The game just felt very comfortable. It felt very, it went at a decent pace. The story was really good, but that was just, it was a fantastic game. So yeah, moving on. Coming in at number 9 of my most disappointed list is Infamous Second Son. Now, I know what you guys are saying. Will, really? Really? Why? Infamous is a good game. Okay, let me see how I can explain this. Infamous is a good game. It is a fantastic game, but the problem is that it's so short-lived that I forgot everything about it already. I don't know. Delson as a character just didn't grab me. Even though he was voiced by Troy Baker, he didn't grab me. The city was good and the lighting was smart, but the missions felt flat. It just felt like kill hordes of enemies, lift this thing up, shoot it, break it down, and reveal a portion of the map. And then when you finally get a really good power or a new power, you get it at the end of the game, but you already done all the missions already at this point, because that's the way I play. I do all the missions. So I didn't even have time to use it. And then I don't even know what the freaking happened. The graphics were fantastic and great. It's just the game itself just wasn't gripping enough, I guess. It wasn't a long-lasting, thing for me. So Infamous, unfortunately, makes my most disappointed list of 2014. Moving into number 9 of my most favorite games of 2014 is South Park: The Stick of Truth. Now, everybody knows that South Park, well, not everybody, but a lot of people will agree with me that South Park is pretty funny. I find it hilarious. I find it hysterical. I love the show. When you got to play the game, and they did a fantastic, wonderful job, especially on a PS3 and Xbox 360, of making that game still look like it was part of the show, I was hooked. The game story was funny, and it was hilarious. But when I was trying to do the trophies, when I was trying to get the trophies for this game and trying to platinum it, which I did, but you realize that it was really a short game. And this was an RPG game, so I was expecting it to be a little bit longer, but it was still a great game. I mean, despite what it was a fantastic game. I personally liked it. I thought it was hysterical and funny, and definitely one of my top games of 2014. At number 8 on my most disappointed game of 2014 is Littlebigplanet 3. Yes, it's another PS4, PS3 game. I hate to say it, but actually, I was tricked in this one. This one was technically my fault. I was under the impression that this game was made by Media Molecule, and I was completely wrong. It was made by Sumo. And the game looked like Littlebigplanet, played like Littlebigplanet, had all the customizable features like Littlebigplanet, but the story is so boring. Oh my God, I can't even finish this game yet because the story is boring to me. I understand it's Littlebigplanet and whatever. Even when you're playing with a friend, I still get kind of bored of it. I don't know what it is. I hate it. I don't know what they did with it. I'm having trouble understanding the accents. Even though Hugh Laurie is doing one of the voices and stuff, it's not interesting enough to me. And even though Stephen Fry is there, and I still love it, I still love his voice, but Hugh Laurie, I don't know, man. I don't know. His voice acting just didn't work for me. And then on top of that, the game was glitchy as all hell. You go in limbo, you die infinitely. There's times where you get stuck in places. It was just a mess. It's a mess. Coming in at number 8 on my favorite list is Dust and Elysian Tale. First off, I was going to completely ignore this game. Sony gave it away as a PlayStation Plus game, and technically this game came out in 2012 on Xbox Live for the 360. But I never heard of this game until this year. And technically it was released on PlayStation 4, so this does count this year. So PlayStation gave this to us for free. And Boss recommended that I played it because I wasn't going to play it. I always say this to myself with PlayStation Plus games. I download the games and then I never play them. I just have them there and I have them sit there and then I just never play it. I never get the urge to, nothing, not even to try it for a second. And that's bad. That was really bad of me. So my friend Boss, which you need to follow him on YouTube, by the way, but he hooked me onto this game. He told me, Will, just try it. And then so I said, okay, so I'll try it. Played it, absolutely loved it. I got so hooked into it, and I even did a whole walkthrough on this TheWillOfGaming channel, and it was just utterly fantastic. This game is a great thing. If you've never played this game, and this is a definite recommendation. You can also get it on PC on Steam. It is a fantastic, fantastic game to play. It is something that definitely needs to be played. Coming in at number 7 of my most disappointed games of 2014 is Dance Central Spotlight. Dance Central Spotlight. The reason why this disappointed me is it's not really Harmonix's fault. I blame Microsoft on this one. They decided when this game was announced, they decided to opt out to take the camera off of the Xbox One. And even though that was great, it meant cheaper consoles for everybody to get and stuff like that. It means Kinect games are they're null and void. So when this game was released, even though it was a cheap price of $10, it only came with 10 songs. And even though that's fine, that's cool, but this was a pay to make the game your own way. So they had a bunch of DLC. The songs were pretty expensive. I mean, cause me, I'm a person that I want to have every song. And I'm just like, you know what? It's either all or none. And then even though that they said that you can add your own, that if you have DLC from old games, they're going to add them. Those will be considered free when they come out. I haven't personally checked yet, but I'm assuming that they're not out yet. So I'm just, I didn't even buy Dance Central. I tried the trial, and, it plays exactly what you think it is, but also the dance moves come across as robotic, and they're using a lot of dance moves from other dances, and it's like there's no dance that's really unique. It's not like Just Dance where it's like, you have that. But what I love about Dance Central over Just Dance is that I just like the way the scoring system is. I don't know. There's just something about Dance Central that makes it slightly have an edge that is more fun to play. When it comes to Just Dance is, the same thing, but I don't know. It just has a slight edge. That's all I'm saying. But okay, moving on to my number 7 favorite game of 2014 is Dragon Age Inquisition. This one actually surprised me. I was very confused with this game. I didn't know what it was. One, it looked slow to me when I first saw it. It looked really slow. It looked really, like the world looked nice, but it looked really slow. The graphics looked too PS3. It didn't look like, it didn't grab my attention. And then I started to do a little bit more research towards the release of this game, and then I started to see, oh, well, this is pretty cool. But then I was still confused because they kept showing the same gameplay trailer, like where you're playing as that one swordswoman girl, and you're going into the castle when it's raining, and they showed tactical cam. And that was a PC-only feature for the other games, but this time they were adding it to consoles. And I'm like, oh, please don't tell me that this is going to be one of those games where the whole entire thing is tactical cam. And I'm like, oh God, please no. So I still had the game on pre-order. I wasn't sure if I was going to get it. I'm like, I don't think I'm going to get this. So anyways, I stopped and I just said, you know what? Yeah, I'll get it. So when the game actually came out and I was scared it was going to be tactical cam, I put it in and I realized, no, it's not tactical cam. That you can also play the game holding the R2 button. So as I keep playing this game, it grabbed my attention very early. But as time progressed on, I kind of started to lose interest in it just for a little bit because I was seeing more story and not playing enough game. And even though that's not the problem, that's not a problem in the game. It's just, it's just me. It was becoming more difficult for me to play these games and to play this game. But I do plan on finishing it. It is a very long game. I know that there's a lot of side missions and a lot of places to explore and a lot of things and a lot of romances and a lot of things. So I plan on eventually getting to it. So yeah, that was my number 7 is Dragon Age Inquisition. Coming in at number 6 of my most disappointed games is Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I did not buy this game. I only played the demos of both the 3DS and the Wii U version. How disappointing. I'm not going to be too harsh on this game because I didn't play it in its entirety, so I can't really say anything about it, but it is really, really sad to look at. When I played the demo, it was meh, if anything. I mean, it wasn't an insanely bad Sonic game, but it wasn't a really good one either. It was just more like in the middle. I mean, I've played worse Sonic games than that, but my God, I don't know what this is. I don't know. The last Sonic game that I played that was really good was Sonic Colors for the Wii. And I don't know. I feel really bad for Sonic because in all these characters, they are such great characters, But the problem is that they just can't make a good game with them. I think that Sonic's character is really difficult to work with in 3D. And I say, you know what? I would be perfectly happy if they just if they go back to the 2D engine, make it like 2D, 3D, kind of like Sonic Generations, but then they make it like a 2D type game. Or make Sonic Colors 2, I mean, or something like that. Come on. I honestly think that Sonic has a lot of potential. And if the right team were to work on him and just do something that can utilize his speed, because I understand that since Sonic is so fast as a character, that there's only so much level that you can make. And so making it in 3D is really difficult. But if you do it in 2D, it just makes it more interesting, you know? And I understand, and I can't even explain it. It's so hard because I'm trying to think of a decent Sonic game in my head, and I just can't think of anything realistic, you know? So I would just say that Sonic, I guess, belongs in 2D. And there's no problem with being 2D, because look at Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong's pretty good with it. Moving on to my number 6 most favorite game, and if you guys can already tell from the trailer, it is Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. This game is a freaking blast to play. This game is amazing. For $40. First off, it's $40. If you thought it was a $60 game, no, it's $40. At $60, I wouldn't recommend it, but $40 is good. This game has like 70-something levels. I don't know the exact number. And then there's bonus levels as well, which therefore adds on to... This game is so fun, and I think that it is so and it's for everybody. You can be a kid, you can be an adult, you could be somewhere in the middle, you could be a pro gamer, you can be an amateur, you can be a girl, a guy, you could be, it doesn't matter. This game is just fun, and this game is also like a couch game. Like, you know, it's one of those backseat games. Like, go over there, go left. I see something on the right. I see that, like, you know, you can do stuff like that. And sometimes that could also be annoying. This game has no multiplayer. As far as I can tell, there's no multiplayer. And I think I beat the game already. I just have to do some side objectives. But this game was absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. It's a definite recommendation, and I'd suggest you play it. And also, on fun fact, if you do buy it brand new and you get the code on it, you get 70 Nintendo Club coins instead of what, 30 that they give you, or 40 or whatever, but you're getting 70 coins, and that's pretty cool in my book. Coming in at number 5 of my most disappointed games of 2014 is Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. This game was an utter joke. This game should have not been released. This game isn't even a game. This game is a demo that they charged you 30 to 40 bucks for. That is some bull. I'm sorry. That is some bull. This game, look, I'm not going to call it a game. This demo should have been on Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain. It should have just been included with it. It should have just been the prologue to the story that started Phantom Pain. You know, it should have been free on PlayStation Plus. It should have been $5. Something. It should have been bundled. If you pre-ordered something, if you pre-ordered a Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain, you would have gotten this game for free as a bonus or something. Why couldn't they just do something like that? Why would you release something like this, charge 30 to 40 bucks for it, and then expect, like, you know, whatever? This game may have been fun for some few, but I did not have fun with this. I bought it. Yes, I bought it, and I bought it for like 30 bucks. But I bought it with trade-in stuff, so I traded in stuff. You know, GameStop. But I can't believe I spent money on that. At least I got some money back when I traded it in. At least I still got like 20 bucks back for it. So, oh well, I lost 10 bucks, but whatever. That game ain't even worth 10 bucks. I'm sorry. If you like Metal Gear Solid, I understand if you're a Metal Gear Solid fan and whatever, but I believe this is one Metal Gear Solid game that you can skip. You know, this demo is something that you can skip, but I understand that at the time We were desperate to play games on our PS4. If you were a person that had one console, you were desperate for games, because even Nintendo didn't really have any good games at that time, except for, 2 games. But seriously, it was drought, and I was thirsty, and I needed something to quench that thirst. And unfortunately, I got Ground Zeroes, and I was massively disappointed. It was only an hour long, and there were some side missions, like an hour and 17 minutes at most. But, God, it was so disappointing. Disappointing. Joke. Never, ever release a game if it's an hour long, unless if it's a demo and it comes bundled with another game. Do not release a game for $40 to $30 that's an hour long. That is a disappointment to your fan base, and I'm surprised that Metal Gear Solid or Konami isn't giving as much flack as it should be getting for that stunt, because that was unforgivable in my opinion, and they should drop the price of Metal Gear Solid by $10 or something. But that's just my opinion. Moving on to my fifth favorite game of 2014. Oh God. It's Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. Now this game was freaking epic. This game was amazing. My only problem, or my only complaint with this, is the fact that you cannot switch characters. Like in the old Donkey Kong Country, when you play them, you just hit the select button and then you just slap hands with the character, and then you can play the game as the rest of the character. Donkey Kong is my least favorite character in the whole entire Donkey Kong universe. I love Diddy Kong. He is my character. I would have loved to have played this whole entire game with Diddy Kong. I would have loved to at least alternate characters. But the only thing that you can use them for is as a Donkey Kong secondary thing. I know realistically this is how it would really be, because, realistically, if you're going to rush or whatever, because one, Donkey Kong is big and he's slow, but you know what? And Diddy Kong is really fast and can climb trees. Like, seriously, why? I just wish that they could have just done that little switcheroo thing. That's my only complaint with this game. But other than that, this game was fantastic. The graphics were great. The music was great. Everything, the bosses were hard. The game was at the perfect difficulty. Perfect difficulty. There was a lot of collectibles and secrets if you're that type of person, and the game just felt accomplished when you feel accomplished when you completed it. It was just overall fantastic game. It is a definite recommendation. If you don't have it yet, I suggest you try picking it up if you like adventure platforming games. Definitely a recommendation. Coming in on number 4, my most disappointing games of 2014 is Driveclub. I hate myself. I really do. I really do. This game was originally supposed to be coming out on the launch of PlayStation 4. And then 2 weeks before, it got delayed. 2 weeks before the release of PlayStation 4. Delayed. And then all of a sudden, it gets delayed to like summer or something. I don't remember. And then all of a sudden, summer comes, and then it gets delayed yet again to October. Which is not a big deal, because delays usually are a good thing. They means that the game, they don't want to release a half-assed game. Whatever. They want to release a nice game. Plus, Sony's going to be giving this game to us for free. They're giving the PlayStation Plus edition, So it's like, technically, I would have this full game for free by the time when it comes out. So, you know what? Whether I like the game or not, it's a win-win for me, right? Wrong. When October came of this year and Driveclub was released, this game was an utter disappointment. There was no weather controls. It was nothing but European cars. There was no variety in cars whatsoever. There was no, did I say no weather already? There was no weather already. I think I already said that. The courses were pretty good. The graphics were great, but people were complaining that the game penalized you too easily and all this stuff like that. And just like, if you kept crashing into things, and, it wasn't whatever. And then it didn't help that Forza Horizon 2 came out beforehand, and therefore, completely obliterated Driveclub in terms of everything. Driveclub graphically, in my opinion, looks superior, but it just wasn't there. And then on top of that, the whole purpose online did not work. So driving avatars didn't work, or whatever didn't work. And you couldn't create clubs with your friends and whatever. And then so all of a sudden, done. Then on top of that, Sony did not release it as a PlayStation Plus edition. And then they didn't even compensate those who bought the game. They did not do anything. They added weather and all that other stuff. And Driveclub is running better now. But unfortunately, you know, first impressions are a thing. And if you fail to meet those first impressions, unfortunately, you're going to lose a lot of people's attentions on that game. So sorry, Evolution Studios. I hope you do better next time if you are given a next time. But seriously, you know, graphically, it looked amazing. And that's all I got to say. Moving on. Coming in at number 4 of my favorite games of 2014 is Bayonetta 2. A lot of controversy surrounded this game. Not only, like, this game was nothing but controversy, but in a way that helped Nintendo. There was a freaking petition to get this game to sell 1 million copies because the Wii U lost third-party support. There was a bunch of, you know, like Bayonetta people being mad because they didn't want to buy a Wii U to play Bayonetta 2 because Bayonetta 2 is exclusive to Wii U. This game would have never been made. Nintendo picked it up. Sony had the opportunity to pick it up, but they didn't. Microsoft had the chance to pick it up, but they didn't. So Nintendo picked it up and said, oh, well, whatever. Because people complained that there weren't enough mature games on the Wii U. And there you go. You get a mature game. And then that mature game gets a lot of flack when the first one didn't even get that much flack. You know, there was a lot of over-sexualization in the first one. And there's over-sexualization in this one. But nobody complained about it in 2000 and whatever it came out. 2008? I don't remember. It came out a while ago. And so nobody complained about it back then. Now it becomes an issue in this game. And then all of a sudden, it was just all over the freaking place. People were angry that Nintendo published it on Playboy or whatever. And Playboy was advertising it and something. And I don't know. But this game wasn't as over-sexualized as you think. Yes, there are clips. The clips that you show, that they show her pretty much butt naked or whatever. They show like a little crack of her thing, or they show a side boob, or they showed something. But really, this game wasn't as over-sexualized as you think. There was, in the combat, it's not as bad as it is. I mean, there's a move that when she stabs people or whatever, she'll, like, her hair is her weapon and she'll go naked for like a second, but you don't see anything. But you know what? This is not helping. This is not helping. The game wasn't over-sexualized in the cutscenes. In the cutscenes, it was mostly just a standstill. There was no movement in the cutscenes. There was just standstill and then just voice acting on top of it with a little reel that moved on the bottom and top half of the screen, and that was it. That was all that Bayonetta was. The only time when over-sexualization took place was in the cutscenes that actually moved, but not every cutscene was like that. And yes, there was a lot of suggestive stuff. You know what? I'm not helping my case with Bayonetta 2. Bayonetta 2 is a good game if you give it a chance. It comes bundled with Bayonetta 1 if you buy brand new. For $60 game, you get 2 games. And if you never played the first one, then you're good. This game is good for beginners. You know, it looks intimidating. The combat is very fun. And honestly, I would say it's a definite picker-upper. But, you know. Moving on to number 3 of my most disappointed games of 2014 is The Crew. My friend Trent got access to the beta really early, and I think he got it for PC. So, of course, the PC version looks obviously better than the console version. And so he was telling me about it, and he said it was kind of fun, and then he told me that it wasn't fun, and he just kept going back and forth with it. So I'm just like, okay, well, I guess I don't know. I don't know how he really feels about it. It's something that I have to experience for myself. So they were giving the betas for the consoles, and then I got invited to the beta for the consoles. So I played it. And I got, like, literally, that freaking intro was so freaking boring. I just couldn't get into it. I'm just like, okay, never mind. Then I saw graphics. The graphics really bothered me. And I'm like, okay, this game comes out in what, like 4 months. I mean, and I understand this is a beta, but nothing really helps in these betas because the alpha, some games look exactly like the alpha phase, and that was it. So I don't know. So that was pretty much it. I was very upset when I played the beta, and I was just like, you know what? I'm not buying this game. I love the concept of it, though. I was actually pretty excited for it because I like the idea that you could play with friends and they can be in different parts of the map and all that stuff. But it was a Ubisoft game. And of course, I should have known better that it wasn't going to be what I thought it was going to be. So therefore, that's why this game, The Crew, gets number 3 on my list. So sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. If you like the game, you love the game, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. I don't like it. Moving on to my number 3 on my favorites list. As much as I wish that this game looked like this trailer, because this trailer is freaking awesome, by the way. Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire makes my number 3. I am still on this game. I am hooked on this game. Never have I been so hooked to a handheld as I've been this year. I've been on Super Smash Bros. 3DS like every day on the 3DS. I never played a demo so long on the 3DS. Oh my God, I was so into Super Smash Bros. And then all of a sudden this Pokemon game came out, and I never really played the original Ruby or Sapphire. I mean, I played a little bit of it, but I never really finished it. And then this is the first time I can fully say that I caught 708 Pokemon, which basically completes the Pokedex because it doesn't count the event Pokemon. So I have 708 Pokemon, and I'm very, very happy because I got a few event Pokemon that kind of helped out the list. But then on top of that, there were some event Pokemon that I couldn't get. Like I couldn't get Jirachi, I couldn't get Manaphy, I couldn't get Fione, I couldn't get Mew or any of those other Pokemon. And, you know, that's kind of upsetting, but the fact that I finished the National Pokedex and now I have every Pokemon in my Pokemon bank, I am so happy that look, I'm done. Like that means every time when a new Pokemon game comes out, I just have to transfer all these Pokemon in the game. Next thing you know, I just have to capture the newer ones and then add them to my list. And then there you go. I've completed the Pokedex, and then just make sure I go to every event and but then I just want the events to be like ones that they distribute like through online where you can do the mystery link and stuff. Like, oh my God, I love this. I love this trailer. I love this game. This game is a definite must play. But then again, there are people, if you played a Pokemon game, there's really nothing different that this is really giving you. If you played a Pokemon game before and you didn't like it, you're not going to like this one. So, yeah, this is just for people who are fans of Pokemon. I'm pretty sure that if you are a fan of Pokemon and you have a 3DS, you already have this game, and there's no reason for me to be telling you this. But if you were hesitant because you already played Ruby and Sapphire, this game gives you a lot of legendary Pokemon. It's a lot easier to breed. If you want shinies, it's a lot easier to EV train. It's just that they made this game really accessible if you want to EV train and stuff. So it's really interesting. I love this game. I love the game mechanics. Never have I ever been so addicted to a Pokemon game. So, yes, I absolutely love this game. Coming in at number 2 of my most disappointed game, and I already know, this game literally is like divided in the middle in the gaming community. A lot of people absolutely love it. A lot of people actually hate it. I'm one of the people that hate it. So Destiny is number 2. Destiny, man. This game was so overhyped. I didn't care about it at E3 and until I got invited into the alpha. And then my interest really peaked because I really loved the idea of the strike mission. Like the strike mission was so freaking epic and fun. And I'm like, oh my God, this game's going to have a whole bunch. And then there's other planets and all this other stuff. And, you know, and all of a sudden my mind is like everywhere. And I'm thinking because this is a beta, they closed off certain places and people were in YouTube and said, look, this place is closed off and stuff like that. And it's going to open up and whatever. Turned out that Destiny turned out to be so freaking disappointing that it was a game that strictly relied on freaking downloadable content. And then I was told that this game is going to be supported for 10 years, which means that this is a game that they're going to charge you $60 for, and then you have to keep paying like 20 to 40 bucks to keep adding more DLC onto it, to keep doing the same freaking thing. And then on top of that, this game had no story that was interesting, even though that Peter Dinklage was playing the voice of the ghost that was there. And I thought that his performance was going to be so good, but no, it didn't. And I was so freaking upset. And then there was no characters. And then you find out that your character does do indeed talk, but didn't talk this whole entire freaking time. And then you're like so freaking confused. You don't even care what any of these people think. And then by the time you reach the story's conclusion, you're like, really? That's it? That's it? And then you go and you play some multiplayer, and then the multiplayer could be fun for people, but I don't even think I don't know people. I know that there are people out there that still play Destiny, but people that were really hyped for it don't even play Destiny anymore. And you know what? I find that truly sad because I had high hopes. Destiny was fun at first. When we played the beta as Gamers Nation, it was so fantastic. And I'm only speaking for myself. I'm not speaking for everybody else. I'm just speaking for myself that I was having fun at first. And then all of a sudden when the real game came out and I realized that the real game is basically the freaking alpha, and that's it, with multiplayer added onto it. And I'm like, really? That was it? That's what I waited for? It's the same thing? There's only 4 or 5 planets in this? I'm done. And I was so freaking upset. I was done. And so Destiny is number 2. I'm sorry if that came across as very mean, but I was 2. Done. Coming in at number 2 of my favorite list is puts me in a little more of a really good mood. Now, it's really interesting that I put this in number 2 because this is also a multiplayer game, which is Mario Kart 8. I've never played an online game for so long in my life with so many friends and had such a blast playing it. Mario Kart 8 is definitely great. The issue that I had with Mario Kart 8, though, was the fact that the online, the battle mode was utter crap. They got rid of the arenas. You know, why? Like, why is it just going around in a circle and hoping that your item hits something? I also want to kill the person that made a coin a freaking item. Like, why would you do that? Like, seriously, there are some races that I lost that were complete bullcrap because all I kept getting was coins. And I was in 6th place. How the hell does this happen? How the hell can I be in 12th place and still get coins? Like, seriously, shouldn't I get a blue shell? Shouldn't I get a bullet? Shouldn't I get something that at least helps a little bit? No. So, but anyways, Mario Kart 8 was fantastic. It was graphically great. It was, oh my God, it was just genius. The music was fantastic. The racing was good. It's like, I can't understand how a game that is so perfect in one aspect, but so bad in another, but it's such a great game. It is a recommendation, absolute recommendation. If you just bought a Wii U and you're wondering, oh, well, what game should I get? Or if you're on the market for a Wii U, this is definitely one of the games that you have to pick up. It's like a recommendation, like by everybody. Like, this is one of the reasons to own a Wii U is Mario Kart 8. The online for me was perfect. I'm not saying it is for everybody, but for me, it was perfect. And it was so fun to play with friends. The fact that they allow you to play with up to 12 people is freaking epic. You can create your own tournaments. You can do all this stuff. This game was just everywhere. This game was just, oh my God, this game was so good, but so frustrating at the same time. Like, I remember because I didn't play a Mario Kart game in a while, and I was just struggling at 150. I'm like, oh my God, this 150 is so cheap because you wouldn't get the items that you want. You had to strictly be lucky. And then eventually, once you race the ghosts and stuff like that, and you learn how all the turns work and learn how the drifting works, and once you figure it out, you realize it's actually not so difficult. But then you turn that competition into the real thing, and then you take it online, and oh my God, it is a completely different game. It is so freaking fantastic. If Nintendo would just fix that arena stuff, it would be great. The DLC is fantastic. Oh my God, it's so cheap, and they're giving you, it feels like it feels like a brand new Mario Kart game when they added the DLC. They added 8 levels to it, and then another 8 coming in May. Oh my God, seriously. So Nintendo did the DLC right. So, props for Nintendo for Mario Kart. It really is one of my favorite games of the year. And finally, coming at number 1 on my most disappointed list is Watch_Dogs. If you guys seen Gamers Nation, you guys know that this is literally my most hated game of the year. Look at this footage that I'm showing you right now. This footage I got from YouTube, from somebody from YouTube, and this video was posted 2 weeks before the game's release. Look at it. The one on the left is what I was shown. And I was made to believe that that was PS3, which I didn't believe. It was next gen. People believed that it was too next gen for it to be, whatever. And then finally, look at the one on the right. That's what we got. This game was delayed. This game was delayed by like 6 months. This game was once again a launch title that got delayed. Delayed. So you think delay will make the game look better, or maybe they didn't reach that goal that they were trying to aim it at, and I thought that they needed the 6 months to maybe, make it look like that. Well, it looked like a glitchy mess. Every time when I played this game was glitching. It was glitching everywhere. Then when the game wasn't terrible. It wasn't a really bad game. Watch Dogs was a good game. It kept my interest. I beat it. But for some people, Act 2 was too damn long. The game was just I forgot. There's so many side things to do that you forgot what the story was, that you don't even care. Like, it doesn't even, how are you going to do something where your sister's kidnapped and, you spend let's say that you're taking your time with this game and you spend 4 days just traveling Chicago, doing the CTOS towers, doing the driving around, doing the driving missions, racing with friends, playing online. Your poor sister is freaking kidnapped, and you're not rushing in a hurry to save her. Seriously? They would have killed her with the amount of length it took. But I understand it's a video game, so I'm not putting that against it. But I'm just saying, there was also other things in the game that took me out of the experience. Every time they put reflections in windows. But for what? When you looked at when you look at the reflections on any window, whether it's the car window, whether it's a store window, whatever it's something, whenever you look at something, you don't see anything. Like you see the same reflection everywhere. Even I was in an alleyway. I looked at a reflection in the window to look behind me that there's a wall. There's a wall behind me. There's no road, nothing. It's just an alleyway. How the hell is there a road with street lights and stuff like that in the reflection of this window? And it's the same on everything. Don't believe me? Check it. There's also other things like that really bothered me. Like, the game had its good parts and its bad parts. Like, the game looked really good at night and when it was raining. But then the game looked really bad in the daytime. Like some of the missions, like when the game first started, that first mission was really, really cool. I loved the way that they did it. But then some of the missions just got boring, got really, really boring. And I don't know. A part of me likes this game, but a part of me really, really hates it because it didn't meet any of my expectations. It was nothing than what I thought it was. I thought it was going to be like a group of hackers and all this stuff like that. And it was nothing like that. It was nothing like that. I don't know. It was bad. It was bad for me. It was bad for me. That's just me. I'm sorry I went on a tangent with this. But anyways, moving on to the final thing. Coming up in first place, which is no surprise to anybody who's been watching Gamers Nation, Super Smash Bros. For Wii U is my #1 favorite game of the year of 2014. I plugged the shit out of this game. Every time I did a Gamers Nation episode, I could not do a whole episode without plugging this game's name in there because this game was the one that I was anticipating the absolute most. It was one of those games that I'm just like, look, I'm a huge fan of Super Smash Bros. I was a fan of Brawl, and I know that everybody competitively cannot stand Brawl unless if they play Project M or something. But seriously, man, Super Smash Brothers had everything that I could think of. The way that they advertised this game was utter perfection. That they did daily pictures every freaking day. that people were just waiting and refreshing their, I remember I was refreshing my page just hoping to hear Nintendo Direct, and I was dedicated to Smash Brothers, or I was waiting for a new character, or, you know, it literally had me on the edge of my seat this whole entire time. My only problems with this game is definitely not perfect. It's not the god of all games, but my issues was that the single player, like if you were playing this game by yourself, it's really lackluster. Smash Tour is a piece of crap in my opinion. All-Star mode is not what I thought it was going to be. I would have much preferred this Tower of Smash rumor that they had way back then. And then all of a sudden, the classic mode, they ruined it. I don't like it, and stuff like that. This game is strictly a couch multiplayer. Online does not work for me. It lags a lot, and when it doesn't lag, there's input lag massively, like bad, like input lag. And eventually you do get used to it the more you play with it on, but seriously, it just messes up your game, and I don't like it. It makes the game feel slower to me, and so that's just my thing. Smash Brothers is a fantastic game. It is a definite recommendation if you liked previous Smash Brothers. I don't know if you're new to it. You may not like Smash Brothers because it is a difficult game to get started with. If you're a beginner, you're going to be falling off the sides a lot. You really need to put practice and have a little bit of patience to play this game. This game isn't a combo horror game like Street Fighter or Killer Instinct or anything like that, where you have to memorize a bunch of button presses and things like that, and then your character does amazing things. No, this game is simply you just tap the A button pretty much a lot, and then the B button for special things, and you just have to know how to recover yourself on the stage. The objective of this game is really simple. There's different game modes that you can play. You can play with items on, off. You can play every level, final destination. You have customizable music. This game was just everything that I needed. This game was everything that I wanted. And this game was such an epic way to end 2014. You know, it was just full of disappointments, and that was my only holy grail that I could go to, and that was it. And then when I finally got Super Smash Brothers, I was so freaking excited. It was like holding the holy grail. I even cried during the unboxing video. You can watch it if you want to. But oh my God, it felt like whatever. Now, the amiibos on the other hand, was an issue. I didn't like how Nintendo portrayed that. But anyways, that has nothing to do with this list, so I'm not going to talk about it. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys, I understand that this came across as a fanboyism thing type video. I know that that's people are going to think like, oh, he's pro Nintendo. All he is Nintendo. Look, I own all three consoles, okay? And I own all three consoles. And I played all these games. I bought these games, and except for Sonic Boom and Driveclub. But I bought all these games, and I didn't like them. I didn't like the disappointment ones. I love the ones that I liked, and I hate the ones that I hate. That's just my opinion. If you enjoyed it, go ahead. By all means, enjoy it. I don't care. Go ahead. That's you. But this is my personal opinion on the list. If it comes across as I'm a Nintendo fanboy, then so freaking be it, because Nintendo rocked it this year. I don't care what anybody says. Nintendo sure had a 2-year head start before all these other consoles are to make these games, but Nintendo didn't even have third-party support, and they still made it work. You know what? Nintendo did really good, did the best thing that I could possibly do this year. They screwed up with the amiibos, but as far as that goes, Nintendo did every step right. I hope Nintendo doesn't mess up in 2015. I believe that if they could just continue going the route that they were going before Smash Brothers released, if they could do that for one of their other games like Zelda, Star Fox, or if they have like this Pokemon adventure game that I've been dying for, maybe this would actually be really good. I really get a really good feeling that this is going to be fantastic, and I'm really excited. I'm very excited for this year of games. It's going to be competition, because now once the 2-year mark hits, that's when the competition really starts to come out. So now Wii U will technically be on its 3rd year, and Xbox One and PS4 are going to be on their 2nd, and that's when the games are going to start coming out. So this is the part to get excited. Maybe it may not excite you just yet. Maybe next year will be the one that excites you. But man, I'm so excited. Fighting games are coming this year. I'm very happy. And oh God, it's just a great year to be a gamer. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what's your favorite top 10 or your top worst games of the year. Let me know if you agree or if you disagree. I don't care. Just let me know what you think. And I hope to see you guys at a later time. Bye.